the Godwell ended their stake. We were wondering if they would end their stake. It actually came due yesterday. We were wondering if they would. Obviously, it didn't. This is a hex alert right here, and we're going to dive into this transaction as we go into more detail. But this was the hex alert right here saying that the Godwell ended a 2.1 billion hex stake. Now, again, if we pull up the Etherscan transaction, and I love hex alerts. If you aren't following them, you can go to @whalehex on Twitter, and they post all the alerts happening, whether it be a million hex staked, whether it be 3 million hex bought for $180,000, whether it be someone nuking themselves, like right here. They ended their stake early by about 100 days, so they didn't complete it to fruition, but they weren't quite as penalized because they started out with a 600,000 hex stake when they started. They ended up getting 900,000 hex during that whole interim and as a yield over the 1,000 days. And so they didn't finish the last 100, but they still lost 624,000 hex because they didn't complete the last 100. That was the penalty that you pay. Folks, this is serious. When you stake your hex, you need to understand right away there is a true penalty that you pay if you end it early. This is not like any other staking mechanism that you have in the crypto space. When you end your stake in hex, if you say you're going to commit to a 1,000-day stake to get the highest yield, and then you only do a 30 days out of that stake and then you end it, consider yourself wrecked immediately, because that means that you have lost all of your hex. Use these examples as a learning lesson. They lost over 500,000 hex just because they ended their hex stake 100 days early. And again, this goes back. They lost 1 million hex here for ending it 200 days early, right? This is a real penalty that you pay. In order to at least get back the principal that you made on it, you have to at least complete 50% of your stake. So do not stake longer than you think you can hold it for. First of all, if you know you have weak hands, maybe start short so you can learn how the hex ecosystem works. Maybe do a 30-day stake with only $100 worth of it. Now, will it be worth it to end it? Probably not, because the gas fees on Ethereum are freaking ridiculously high. But you can at least learn the mechanics of it while you're doing it so you don't wreck yourself. Because if you lose $100, so much better than trying to stake for 1,000 days with $10,000 and only completing 30 days of that stake. That $10,000 is freaking gone, vanished, finito, because that is the penalty that you pay. You said you were going to commit to a 1,000-day stake. Are you a man, or are you not a man of your word, right? Do you keep your word, or do you not keep your word? For those folks who don't keep their word, they are penalized like a mother sucker. So to answer the question here, the Godwell ended their stake. It was a 2 billion hex stake. And so really the next question everyone's wondering is, what is the Godwell going to do? And you can see this is wallet 666D, known as the Godwell address in hex. They have well over $150 million that they're holding right now, and this is primarily all in hex. So if they wanted to, you can imagine there's not even $150 million in liquidity pool, so it wouldn't make sense for them to dump it all because they would just wreck themselves. Typically what happens is they stake it, they take out some yield, they take out some profit. They did a 45 stake, and through that time they were able to accrue, I think it was 50 million hex. I guess I could pull it up right here. They did a they got 27 million hex. So they did a 2 billion hex stake for 45 days. They got 27 million in interest, or an additional yield that they earned trustlessly, paid out by the contract every single day. Phenomenal. They said they would do it for 45 days. They did it for 45 days, and boom, they got paid out. It's incredible what they do. And you can see as we pull up this transaction here, I'm actually going to pull this wallet address over here to a different system real quick so that way y'all can kind of see. And I'm going to go to the website go.hex.com. Oh, I need to switch it over from PulseChain because I think I'm on the PulseChain testnet, if I'm not mistaken, for MetaMask. So let me wait for this to load. Okay, cool, it's not. And then we're going to paste this address in. And I just want to look at these stakes that they do, guys. This is a learning lesson and a learning opportunity for every single one of us, because they are clearly smart with their money. $150 million for most of us is life-changing already. And these folks have been in early. They were in on the Genesis for Ethereum, which means they were one of the first people to receive Ethereum, and they held it for a very long time, probably over 7 years. And they've been able to make a lot of money. So I don't see them necessarily selling Hex out of the reason why, especially when they have Ethereum as the other one. But these are the stakes that they still have out and available right now. So you can see that they are still sitting on 1.3 billion Hex out of all of these stakes that they have active right now. They're sitting on 381,000 T-shares just with this address alone. What you find out is typically the wallets actually begin diversifying, and this is something that you can learn from the Godwell and many others that have set forth the examples. Is once you have a certain amount of wealth, you start diversifying that wealth into different wallets, and it's not necessarily buying new cryptos, it's setting up different staking strategies on those other wallets. Why? Because if one of them gets wrecked, you still have backup wallets that you don't ever have to worry about. Because how unfortunate would it be if this one wallet was the only one that the Godwell had, and for whatever reason it ends up getting compromised or getting compromised, and they just lose $150 million worth of value instantly, not even alone with what they have staked over here. That would be brutal for a lot of folks. So what you find out is they end up creating multiple other wallets that allow them to send the Hex over to that wallet, and they'll send over 1 billion Hex, we'll say, for this example, and or 1 million or 200 million or whatever the number is, and they send it over to this other wallet, and then they do a different staking strategy over there. So while they may do short stakes here, and what's funny about this, they have stakes excuse me, they have stakes that are going out all the way up to basically a 10-year stake. They did this one on day 137 of Hex's existence, and it's ending on day 3,737. So big amount of commitment here right away, and that just shows the level of commitment that a lot of folks may need to understand. But one thing you need to take a look at is check out this. The Godwell has never ended their stake early once. They've always completed all of their stakes to 100% completion every single time. That means they had stakes starting on day 139 and ending on day 1171. They actually had 2 stakes ending on this day. One of them was for 45 days. One of them was for over 3 years almost, basically, right? 1,000 days, 365, yeah. So very, very close to almost 3 years that they've waited for this one stake to come due. And they've waited on all of these stakes. Learn from this, folks. Learn from it. Like, why would you not use this as an example of how to properly do it? Because they've been able to actually capitalize on $516 million through this whole entire existence. And I am covering, myself is covered up on this one just a smidge. But you get the idea right here, and you can see it. And you can't necessarily see it at the bottom because it's a little ticker. I'm going to scroll. Yeah, you can see it right there. 560 million is the amount of money that they've been able to actually accrue. It's incredible, folks. Multiple instances of billion Hex stakes, million Hex stakes. A couple of them were just for a few thousand. And this is what I love, guys. I love looking into this data because it really kind of shows me what they might do. Now, the next website I'm going to look at is a new one that I've recently found called app.rugzy.io. Rugzy is spelled R-U-G-Z-Y. So let's go into this address here. If I go into this wallet, this is the wallet for the Godwell once again. The idea that I love about this website, and this is a beta website, don't connect your wallet to stuff you aren't familiar with. I have a dummy wallet that I use to connect to all of these items. And so, yeah, this is another one. So, of course, I tried to see some information here, and you can see really cool data on this website. In fact, if I go back and just click on Max right here, you can actually see that there are many instances where they actually were getting in back when the price of Hex was 0.0004 and getting it below a penny and still below a penny and then continuing to buy. And in this moment right in time right here was when the price of Hex went poof, fucking skyrocketed real quick because the Godwell has a lot of pull, and they saw that this person has an Ethereum Genesis wallet, and how it's absolutely massive. And at one point in time, their balance has been over 300 million in US dollar value in this wallet. So, and that's not even including the times when the price of Hex was 56 cents. So a lot of good stuff over here for this particular wallet. Typically they don't sell though, right? That's something that you're going to see. They do token receive, token receive. The reason why I pulled this up is because they typically buy on DEXs, and you can see all of the transactions that show, and they typically don't sell. And I could even pull this up and load some more, but they typically don't sell. So it's very interesting the fact that this person has accumulated so much wealth through just Hex alone, continues to believe in the system, has not lost faith in the system one time. Big fan of what the God Will is doing for our ecosystem, because guys, this is a big deal. I don't think you understand the ramifications that a whale in the ecosystem can have on the price of a crypto. And it can easily happen very fast. And again, you can see they send like $1 million over here, and they send it to a different wallet address, and you can actually pull up this as well. So this is 666D sending their wallet, sending $1 million worth of Hex basically, or 1 million Hex over to this wallet. Oh, that's actually a holder here, a token holder, and then they staked it. Yeah, so they transferred it and then they staked it. I mean, that's so often do you find this to be the case, right? And so like they send it here, and then if I pull up this stake, I can almost bet that that was just 1 million Hex. They did it for this one wallet. Why? Because that is what I believe is true diversification. It's not owning a lot of shit coins. It's not owning a lot of these other nonsense coins. It's buying something that you find you've done so much research on, you truly believe in the product, you truly believe in the asset, and then once you have the wealth accumulated in that asset, you diversify that wealth into other wallets. Why? Because you end up benefiting hugely from that as well. So let's take a little peeky weeky over here at this particular wallet and what stakes they have on this wallet. So give me 1 second while it reloads the page with the new wallet information here. They have one stake, they haven't ended anything, and they sent it out to the max 5555. Amazing. They had 1 million Hex. They got 269 t-shirts at the time. They were above before big payday, so they got 1 million extra Hex basically. So far they've accrued 2.39 million Hex during this time, and they're sitting on 3.3 million Hex, and it's barely even. We're on day what, 1180? What day are we on right now? We're 1171 is today's current date for Hex's existence in the ecosystem. And again, they have this one going all the way out for quite some time. So very curious, but that is what I mean by I say diversification. That's truly what it is right there, folks. So Stefan, like and share right now. This is fire. Thank you so much. For real. Like I really do mean that. Thank you. But that was the God Will address. I just wanted to share that information. I think what we're going to end up seeing is the Hex t-share rate ratchet up once again. So it's going to cost even more Hex to get your 1 t-share. So if you're looking to stake, you might be smart to stake something soon. It's known that the God will come through and do some stakes. And the way the contract works is they can't just do another 45-day stake and get the same amount of t-shares. They either have to stake longer, or they have to stake all the yield, or they have to include even more into the principal in order to get the same amount of t-shares. So that's built into the code, and that's why I think in the next few days we're going to see this t-share rate ratchet up anywhere between 300 to 600 additional Hex. And that's going to be it for today's stream, folks. I had an absolute blast with every single one of you beautiful folks. I hope every single one of y'all have a fantastic hump day. I will be back tomorrow with some more daily stream, live stream, 1:30 Central Standard Time. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.